of that particular unclosed document that relates to the particular maritime area that is now called South China Sea. The South China Sea is a semi-enclosed sea. Did you find in the enclosed the significance of a semi-enclosed sea? I think it is under Article 123 of the UNCLOS. Kung tinatanong ko lang, sir, kung nabasa mo lang.
Mr. Chair, I'm not the proper resource person to respond to this kind of question, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, because I am raising that particular issue because if the most responsible agency will look at it, there is a connection on how we should approach the entire problem because the entire South China Sea is a troubled sea. Kaya dapat inaaral natin, saan kaya tayo magsisimula? Ano kaya ang magiging basihan sana natin to approach this issue? Because if you will look into the definition of a semi-enclosed sea, which is under Article 123, makikita natin doon, Mr. Chair, na yung palang mga coastal states. Kasi tingnan po ninyo, imagine it, on the north, nandun po yung China, on the east, nandyan ang Philippines, on the west, nandyan ang Vietnam, southern part, nandyan ang Malaysia. Kaya, at meron din Taiwan on the north. Kaya tinawag po siya sa UNCLOS, Mr. Chair, na semi-enclosed sea. What is the significance of the semi-enclosed sea? Sinasabi po ron, pagka po yung body of water is a semi-enclosed sea, lahat po ng coastal states has the responsibility to coordinate, to cooperate in the exploration, the research, development of that area. We can utilize that as the cornerstone of our defense na. Oh, sinasabi pala rito, dapat cooperative ang approach. Hindi sa'yo yan. Kasi even in the description of the sea, tayo-tayo dapat nagko-cooperate. So, sinasabi ko lang ito, Mr. Chair, because of the complications and the complexities of the South China Sea. Kaya po, kahit na konti lang ang panahon, gusto ko makakontribute na ito po ang dapat nating pagsikapang aralin. So maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair, sa inyong pasensya sa akin na medyo nagtagal para ipaliwanag lang ng konti, alang-alang po sa pagkaunawa nating lahat. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next interplate is the Honorable Raul Manuel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In relation lang dun sa nasimulang topic, Mr. Chair, this is more of my...
Your Honor. There's a request of the one of our resource persons, Attorney Yves Gonzalez of Google Philippines. Are there any members of this committee who would ask questions from him? Meron? Okay. So, pasensya na ito. Thank you. Please proceed, Honorable, Attorney, Honorable Franz, can you ask your questions from Juan? He has another meeting to attend.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, hindi ko inabot kasi kanina yung parang pinag-uusapan yung violations doon sa kumbaga yung inyong standard na doon sa platform. Ano-ano nga po ba yung mga violations doon sa platform kung bakit tinitake down ninyo or upon reporting, tinatanggal ninyo yung post?
Mr. Chair, meron po tayong, yung pinaka-first level po, meron po tayong community guidelines.
Community guidelines.
So sa community guidelines po, andyan po yung mga pinagbabawal po natin yung hate speech, election misinformation, medical misinformation, or child abuse materials. So yun po yung mga example lang po Sa community guidelines po yon. Meron din po tayong mas stricto, meron po tayong advertiser-friendly guidelines. Ito po yung mga additional po na guidelines para po sa mga nagmo-monetize po ng channel nila. Kasi po, ito po yung kumbaga additional rules pa po ito. Para po yung mga nagmo-monetize ng channel nila, meron pong additional responsibilities po na naka-impose po sa kanila.
Okay. So you have the community guidelines at saka yung advertiser guidelines po. So
Advertiser-friendly
ito naman,
guidelines.
advertiser at the same time yung mga content creator.
Opo.
So they have to follow po yung parang, syempre kailangan din nila yung, first of all, merong dapat they follow also yung community guidelines. Di ba? So before, or sabay naman yung ina-apply ninyo. Okay? So yung mga hate speech, yung mga sinasabi ninyo against doon sa, hindi, sinabi na kanina to ni Congressman Barbers, yung tungkol sa mga pagmumura. Di ba? Yung pagsasabi ng threat. Meron ding threat na ganun eh. Well, siguro hindi sa inyo, hindi sa Google, Mr. Chair, yung nagpapakita ng video, Mr. Chair, na parang na-assume na mamamatay ka na. No, so meron akong ganong pero mukhang hindi naman sa kanila. So, how do you consider that? For example, sa inyo yan, how do you consider that po? Kasi hindi sa inyo yan, sa ibang So, would you consider that as as violation from your community guidelines? Yung pinipretend na patay ka na?
So kung sa YouTube po, for example po, may nagsabi po na content creator na patay ka na po. So yun po ay isang example po ng election misinformation kasi po it goes to the qualification and status of the candidate kung kandidato po kayo, di ba? So yun po, madali po yun i-check. Tapos kung confirm po na buhay naman po yung sinasabing patay na kandidato, at yung content po na yon would be violative of the election misinformation policy at patanggalin po yun sa platform.
So even if walang nagre-report, halimbawa may ganong content, even if walang nagre-report, you are checking the content. I know, thousands yan every day. So, meron bang ganong initiative ang Google Philippines?
Opo. So, sa present ko po, Mr. Chair, 97% po ng natatanggal ni Google, ni YouTube, ay automatic na po siya na nadedetect. Meron po tayong 2% na galing po sa mga nagre-report. So, kung makikita nyo po, karamihan po, over yung malaking numero po, ay automatic na pong nadedetect. Pero, may mga kinds of violations po na yun po yung talagang kailangan may nagre-report po na user. So yun sa numero po ni Google, 2% po yung user reported.
Okay. So meron kayong mismong mechanisms on your platform to detect or to determine that. Meron kayong mechanisms or you are sabi nyo kanina 90% you are monitoring. Tama ba yun? Kasi 2% lang yung parang nire-report eh. So, ibig sabihin you have these mechanisms talaga to check yung mga disinformation or misinformation. O disinformation, kasi pag disinformation kasi, di ba, parang deliberately, no, na nagpapakalat ng mga maling information.
Opo. So sa huling transparency report po ni YouTube, so 97% po ay na-detect ng AI or machine learning technology po. So 97% po. 2% po yung user reported. So meron pong mga sistema upang ma-detect yung 97% na violation po ng community guidelines ni YouTube.
So aside from AI, so how many % is human intervention here? Sabi niyo may AI. So, ilang porsyento rito yung human intervention?
So, sa huling transparency report po, sa lahat po ng tinanggal, 97% ay machine learning / AI detected. 2% po user report.
Vaccination.
Meron po.
How would you define that in your platform po?
Mr.
As
Chair,
a violation?
napin ko lang po yung community guidelines on.
So, sa definition, Mr. Chair, dun sa Google, it is an act attempting to deceive someone by pretending that you are not or that you are another person, or false representation by one person that he is another or occupies another position.